What is it? Did you guys get this fun font? This is 162. This is not my favorite font, but it's my favorite named font. Because you won't be able to guess what it is from that. But this font is called Mathematics Boredom. Boredom. B-O-R-E-D-O-M. Mathematics Boredom. Huh? I don't know. But that's why I put it in there near the end of the course. Right? Because now all of you say, why would anybody ever title a font Mathematics Boredom? Math is never boring. It's 100% awesome. Right, everyone? Strongly agree. You don't get that joke, Parm, because you weren't here earlier. We all have a private joke. Parm doesn't get it. Hey, what do you guys think about Parm not getting the joke? I strongly agree that that's appropriate. This teacher is a bully. Strongly agree. Just kidding. All right, let's do math. What are the 4 forms of writing an equation? And don't give me any numbers. Don't say any numbers. You're saying words. I want the forms, but without numbers. Y equals mx plus b. What's the second one? What's the third one? And what's the last one? The ugly cousin. Those are the 4 forms, right? What do they share in common? There's only one thing that they all share in common. What is it? They all have x and y. So if I were to say 4 negative 3, where could that 4 go in this equation? For x. Where can that negative 3 go? Don't say it wrong. In the front, for y. It is not b. Right? Okay. Where would it go in this equation? Where would the 4 go? Right beside the a. Where's the 3 go? Beside the b. Right? Okay. Where does it go here? Where does the negative 4 or the positive 4 go? x1. Where does the negative 3 go? y1. And then this one's the same as this one, right? Now, what if I wrote this? Is 3, 4 on that line? It is? Which is it? You can't just say both. I'm just going to sit here and look at you like this until you decide on one of them. You sure? You sure? You're sure? 100% you're going to tell me that 3 and 4 is on that line. You want to bet some gummy bears? Yes. You do? How many? 1. You want to bet 1 gummy bear? Yeah. Okay, let's check. Isn't that 3 and x? Okay, so what's 3 times 3? 9. Isn't that 4y? So what's 4 times 4? 9 plus 16 plus 7. Does that equal 0? So is it on the line? No. I'll let it go because you had the backbone to actually follow through. When you see it written like this, these are A and B's. They are not X's and Y's. Everybody cool? All right. So if I were to give you a single point and a slope, which one of these should I use? Should I use blue, gold, light blue, or pink? I'll make it easier. A, B, C, or D. You have a single point and a slope. What would you use? C, point-slope form. You have a slope and the point 0, 7. What would you use? A. You have y-intercept of 3, x-intercept of 4. What would you use? B or D, because they're almost exactly the same, right? Everybody understand? Each one of these lends itself to a particular kind of problem. Yes? Okay. Let us move along then, cabbages. Here's our first one. What do I have? Slope, y-intercept. What am I using? A. Slope, y equals mx plus b. How do I write it? Y equals, what's the m? 5. X, what's the b? Plus 4. Change it to standard form. Standard form. Is standard form A, B, or C, or D? D. So how do I change it to D? What's got to move? Y. Why does Y move? You're right. Go with it. X has to be? Positive. X has to be positive, and he already is, right? So 5x minus y equals what? Here's where you're going to screw up. Negative 4. What's general form? What's the only thing that moves there? 5x minus y plus 4 equals what? 0. Yay! What am I going to use there? What do I have? I'm going to use C because I have a slope and a point, right? So what is it? Y? Minus 2? Because it would be y minus minus 2, right? But Miss Bag Crumble wouldn't let us write that. What would we write? Y plus 2 equals 2/3. What? X minus 6. Right? Now, you guys have a page break here, but I get to do this. Bloop. You have to go back and forth, or you just have to look up here. Change it to standard form. What has to disappear? For standard form, what's got to disappear? Brackets. What else? Fractions. And in standard form, what is the third and final thing that I have to remember? No brackets, no fractions, and positive x. So what do you want to get rid of first there? How many of you want to distribute a fraction? Really? Still? All right, Damon. We'll distribute the fraction. I would want to get rid of the fraction, but no, Damon. I always get rid of the fraction. Damon, we're going to distribute it. Oh, now you want to get rid of it. Okay, we'll get rid of it. How do I get rid of divide by 3? Multiply by 3. I'm going to multiply by 3. I'm going to multiply it by 3. Cancel, cancel. 2x minus 6. 3y plus 6. Now what? Distribute, because I need to get rid of the brackets. 3y plus 6 equals 2x minus 12. Now, what's not to be touched now? Why? Because it's positive. So x doesn't change. Standard form. 2x minus 3y. Now what moves? The 6 or the negative 12 for standard form? Say it loud, shy. Don't be shy. Right. But what else could shy be, really, other than shy? Every time somebody has a name like that, I like to do that gag. Like if somebody is named Francis and they're talking a lot, I say, hey, can you be a little more frank? Get it? Get it? Nothing? No? If somebody in class is named Maxwell, I always tell them to take it to the max. Like I give somebody something that's got to go to max, they take this to the max. Nothing? Guys are no fun today. I hate Mondays. What's this answer? It is 18. Because when the 12 comes over, what does it become? Positive. All right. So how does this become that? I just moved the 12 back. 2x minus 3y minus, or the 18 back, equals 0. And slope-intercept form? How do I go from, I need a color I haven't used in a while, purple. How do I go from that to that? Isolate y. I heard somebody say it. Should y move then? But y is negative. If I move y, doesn't that take care of one of my problems with isolating? 2x minus 18 now equals 3y. How do I isolate that? Divide by 3, divide by 3. Some of you are going to forget to do this division. 2/3 x minus 6 equals y. Some of you still have problems with this. This is the same as 2x over 3. Everybody cool? Okay. Now we've practiced all 4 kinds a bunch. What are you going to use for 5? You could use you could start in slope-intercept. If you're going to start in slope-intercept, what's the first thing you should do? Find the slope. How do we find the slope? Okay, so m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. What's it going to be? Four minus 5 over negative 2 minus 1, which is negative 1 over negative 3. 2 negatives make a what? 1/3. So now I have my slope, yes? Slope-intercept form says y equals mx plus b, right? Okay. What in there can I fill in right now? 1/3 x plus b. Now I'm in trouble. Why? Well, I'm not in trouble. And neither are you. But you could be in trouble if you weren't thinking. Because what is this? That's an x. What is this? That's a y. What is this? That's an x. What is this? That's a y. Do I have a b anywhere? What is b? B is the y-intercept, yes? So doesn't b equal 0y? So that's the other thing that I got to think about here. So what can I do now to find a b? I need to set this up so I only have one variable. What are the 2 variables I can get out of here right now? I can get out x and y. If I put 1 for x, what will I put for y? If I put 1 for x, what will I put for y? 5, because that's an x and a y. If I put 2 for x, what will I put for y? 4. Now, what will happen when I do that? What will I get? Will I get the same b no matter what? Of course I will. That's one way you could have done it. If you went this way with the red ones, then you would have had 5 equals 1/3 times 1 plus b. Yeah? If you went with the blue ones, you would have had 4 equals 1/3 times negative 2 plus b. They're both going to give you a fraction, right? I wouldn't have done that. I would have used point slope form first and then gone to slope intercept form. What will happen no matter how you do it? You will get the exact same answer. Is everybody cool? Now, if I finish this off, of course, in red, bring the 1/3 over. 4 and 2/3 equals b. If I bring over, this becomes negative 2/3. When I bring negative 2/3 over, it becomes positive, and I get 4 and 2/3 equals b again. So it's y equals 1/3 x plus 4 and 2/3. What else will I accept there? Of course, that is also 14/3. Everybody cool? Excellent. What are you going to use for 6? And read it carefully because all of you are going to say the wrong thing. What are you going to use? It's always safe to say slope, right, Damon? You can always say slope in these units. I'm going to use the slope. Good job, guys. How many of you wanted to say slope intercept before I said be careful? Be honest. And of course you wanted to say that because you saw slope and you saw intercept, right? But what intercept did you see? X. So really, x-intercept is 2, 0, isn't it? Okay, so it's really point slope form here, isn't it? So it's really y minus what? 0 equals 5/3 x plus 2 or minus 2? Minus 2. So y equals 5/3 x minus 2. Can I leave it like that? That doesn't really look like any of our forms, does it? But it is, isn't it? Because what is that? It's point slope form, right? Because y minus 0 is just y. We would never write that. But that bothers some of you, doesn't it? And something teachers like to do, I don't like to do it, but I do it because other teachers, and they won't leave this as a choice on a multiple choice test. They'll have different forms. And you've noticed I've done that to you a couple of times. So you may have to convert this to slope-intercept form, which is, of course, y equals 5/3 x minus 10/3. Right? That might be what the choices on a test look like. Everybody cool? All right. Okay. Number 7. What should I do? I don't get a graph because we're practicing writing equations. We're trying to do this without graphs now. Where in number 7 can I find knowledge and information to help me solve this problem? What are the hinty words in there? Parallel. What does that mean, Damon? If I see the word parallel, what am I thinking of? Same slope. Boy, slope's back again, hey? How do I find a slope out of that? Do I start making a table of values like a grade 9 chump? No! What do I do instead of that? I'm not a grade 9 chump. I'm a grade almost 11, unless you're one of the 3 grade 9s. But even you aren't grade 9s anymore. So what are you going to do? Isolate y, because that will give me what? The slope. For y equals negative 2x. Do I even care about the 7? Do I? I only need the slope, don't I? So y equals negative 1/2, right? Now, do I have a slope? Do I have a point? So what form do I use? Point slope. Y what? Plus or minus 1? Minus 1 equals m, negative 1/2, bracket, x plus or minus 3? Plus 3. You'll notice my pen is kind of crapping out here. Sorry. What's different in 8? It's perpendicular. Still a hint though, right? What should I find first? Same thing Myers has been telling you to find every question since the beginning of Unit 5. Slope or rate of change, depending. Isolate y. 8y equals negative x. Negative x. What does y equal? Negative 1/8. I got to divide by 8, right? So now do I have a slope? Do I have a point? So what is it? Y plus 2 and negative 1/8. Oh, sorry, 8, because I forgot to flip it, right? That's the slope I have. Flip it over to positive 8. So what's here? And then, look at you, minus 3, because that's a positive. All right. I want 5 equations. Go.